Shalom, shalom. So we at episode 6, man. Voices of the branches. Right, it's brother Aliyah, right? And today we got
Brother Asriel, man, from the Hopeful Elect.
Khan. So we got the brother Asriel from the Hopeful Let Me. All praise the most high having the brother out here, man. We got a couple guests in the back. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into it, man. So tell us a little bit about you doing.
Oh man, how old am I? I'm so-called 29 years old. Got two kids now, two boys, right? Really wanted a girl, but the Most High is trying to, keep that legacy strong with me. Got two boys, married to a beautiful wife. Met her through social media. When you come in this truth, it's not it's kind of hard to find a rib, man. But social media is a big help, and I utilize that the best way I knew I could. And all praise to the Most High. It's been a beautiful marriage. Coming from Augusta, Georgia, man. And just kind of glad to be in the truth now. Used to be in a fraternity, and I remember the first time I heard about the truth. One was from my parents, but also from an old head in the fraternity I was in. It was a brother or an old head. He was probably like, I want to say he was in his 60s. And he came in the back of the frat house and he said, "Hey," he said, me and my frat brother, "Hey, the Bible about us, only us."
Yeah.
He was like, "It ain't for nobody else. It's written for us by us." And I told my frat brother after he walked away, I said, "Man, that old man crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. The Bible for everybody." Right? Heavenly indoctrinated, was a preacher's kid. My dad wasn't a pastor, but he definitely was in the pulpit. All praises. He's in the truth now too. And over time, man, I just found my way more eager to be in the truth. And yeah, man. So don't want to be too long winded on that first question, man.
No,
That's
you
a little bit about me.
you good. So you said you got kids, you know what I'm saying? Having young boys, you know what I'm saying? See, I got a girl, you know what I'm saying? So how is it raising a young man, right? Not only are you raising a young man, but you doing it from a standpoint for being a man in this truth. You know what I'm saying? It's different being a man in the world and being a man in this truth. So how is it with you doing that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I say, man, it's a lot of pressure though. A lot of people don't talk about it, but it's a lot of pressure. It's a blessing, but it's a lot of pressure. And I think that's part of the reason why, I make the joke and I say, man, I wanted a daughter, X, Y, and Z, because my brother, he got a daughter too, and it's kind of easy seeing your rib or your wife with your daughter, and you kind of hands off in a way, and you just gotta worry about protecting them. But with boys, and my op over here, he got boys, what I'm saying, back there a bit far, he got boys too, and right now they're young, but you still got to kind of instill that fear inside of them, meaning you can't play around with them. You know what I'm saying? If they're doing something wrong, you can't give them any leeway. I'm not shy to raise my voice at him because one, if anybody in the world raised their voice at him, he got to know how to react, right? He can't just break down. He a man. Yeah. So I'm raising my voice at him when he does something wrong. I'm not afraid to, give him a pop every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that has gone a long way so far. He's about to be 2 next month, to where, naturally, as parents, there's gonna be that difference between a man and a woman. Yeah. But now, if he's having a fit or crying, or if he's doing something and his mom can't get him to act right, all I got to do is step in the room and look at him. I really don't even got to say nothing anymore, and he'll stop. So I'll say from early on, from this standpoint, I know I got my work cut out for me, but all praises, the Most High is, giving me a receptive son, and he's not too rebellious.
Okay. That's beautiful, right? So you kind of touched on it a little bit. You said you prior to coming to the truth, you were a part of a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? So how is it, right? You know what I'm saying? Being a part of that, being into brotherhood, how is it coming to this truth and you're part of another brotherhood, but now it's with the Bible, based on Bible?
Yeah, man. I know the Lord, the Most High put me through that for a reason. there's some pros and cons out of everything that you're in. You know what I'm saying? For example, you know, with Paul was crucifying Christians, right? He thought he was doing the right thing. And you know, on his journey to be King Saul at the time, you know, he became a Pharisee and all that. He was studied in the law, not knowing he's going to need that for the teachings of Christ later. So even though he might have been a hypocrite, and even though he might have been blind to some of the things that he should have been actually teaching and knowing, he was able to use his past to kind of, you know, end out his mission. So I feel like the Most High, you know, put me in that situation for kind of the same thing. I see a lot, for example, there are some pros that came out of the fraternity, right? Some people may say, man, you bugged out X, Y, and Z, but I'm here to let you know they do kind of teach you how to be a man, right? And how to defend yourself, stand up for what you believe, and have that sense of discretion, and also a sense of protection about you, right? You want to be able to be a man when it comes to defending what you believe in, defending brothers that are with you, X, Y, and Z. But coming into this truth, man, what being in an organization like that did was highlight flaws in men, right? I was able to see men now for what they are, and not just see them face value and think that they're one way, right? Coming in this truth now, knowing the wisdom through the scriptures, knowing that you can tell a lot from a man's countenance, you can tell a lot from a man's fruit, or, you know, what he does. You can start looking on a deeper level. And I'll say, in the truth, man, the brotherhood that you get is more genuine, right? It's less heartache, it's less taxing. It's, man, when I left the fraternity, man, and I exited all those group chats and everything, it was like a breath of fresh air. I was just talking to a brother about that the other day. It was like a breath of fresh air, right? I was stressed and I didn't even know it, right? But being in this truth, man, it's not, it ain't nothing stressful about it. Like the Lord said, it's not grievous, right? Because one, we all agree to an extent. We all agree, right? And we all are trying to strive our best, with that best being according to the laws of God, right? And according to what's written, you know what I'm saying? And so if I know another brother's doing that, I know that that brother's going to be as genuine as he knows how to be. And if we do have a ought or a disagreement, we can go to the great mediator in the word, and we can, you know, figure it out. So I'll say that that's the difference, man. In the world, you're going to always have fake, shiesty, scamming. You're gonna always have them type of people. And you're never going to feel stress-free, right? You're going to always feel like there's a facade over your life, like you're living a fake life. And that's another thing, right? When I was in a fraternity, now I say I was a preacher's kid, but I was one of the good preacher's kids, right? I wasn't trying to be in the mix. I was trying to save myself to marriage. I was, you know, but once I got into the fraternity, and you know, these fraternities say that they're Christian oriented or founded on Christian morals, man, I found myself, you know, getting drunk all the time. I found myself, you know, not to get X-rated, but find myself getting more lascivious, or for people that don't know what lascivious is, you know, more sexually active, right? And I just saw myself going in a way I did not see myself, man. And the Lord had to wake me up from that. And my frat brothers do something to me, or allow some things to happen to me, to where I knew that those wasn't my brothers, right? And hurt me, cut me, man. And I left, and I knew I should have been left, because I had heard about the truth and had been studying the truth for a little while now. But I had to leave after that. And, you know, all praises for the Most High for you know cutting me like that, because I wouldn't be where I am now.
All praise the Most High. Okay. So boom, you know what I'm saying? What's something, you know what I'm saying, it's truth, you know, we talked about it, like how it is a lot easier. It's definitely is a breath of fresh air. What are some challenges that you might run across in the truth, just for you?
I know early on, man, it was giving up stuff, right? And a lot of us, man, I know for me, you know, pride came into the fact where you want to defend everything that you love, and you really don't love it, but your flesh loves it, right? Some of those things may be like holidays and things of that nature. But as you grow in the truth, you start gaining the pleasures of the Most High, and those pleasures, right, end up being your pleasures. But To answer the question, man, some challenging things in the truth right now would be work-life balance, right? Being able to be in the work field, you know what I'm saying, and being free, right? Because we're living in a society now to where, you know, they don't operate off the Bible.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you kind of have to be cognitive of that and move wise as a serpent sometimes. Some more things would have to be, and it's a hard question because, you know, now that I've been in the truth for a little while, it's not really hard for me to do these things, but I can see it being challenging. You know, actually reading ingredients and food that you get and things of that nature, making sure that you're doing your due diligence. Also, just staying in your word, man, and being honest with yourself. You got to stay in the word for yourself. Not just watch videos all day and not just act the part, but you got to be the part. And then also, I'll say this: pride, right? Pride is the fall of anybody. And just because you're not in the world anymore doesn't mean that pride doesn't creep up. And it's truth, man. Pride can come in any type of situation, any type of argument, any type of belief, and that thing gets in the way. And when you're in this truth, you got to be willing to be taught as a child, man.
Oh, that's right.
Constantly. Constantly. It's so many times, even us being together all the time, right, where one of us may think we're right, and a lot of times it's me, right? A lot of times, you know, I might come to them with something and my pride wants to, you know, get in the way of me being wrong. Right. But sometimes you just got to let yourself be wrong, man. And you know, that's a big part of this truth, man, is pride. That would be one of the hardest things to overcome.
That's real. All right. So what's something that you would tell somebody, you know what I'm saying, that just getting inside is truth, man? They're trying to get some understanding, or what's something, a tip that you would give them to help move them along in this thing?
If you just coming in, man, I would say, man, get it for yourself first. Read, 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 right? Read, pray, and fast for yourself first. The Bible says, seek the kingdom first and all will be added, right? When I met my rib, before she was my rib, you know, she was my sister. And I remember she used to ask me questions on social media about how she wants more friends in the truth and she wants more people to be in the truth. And she eventually wanted to be married and things of that nature. And I told her, first and foremost, you got to check yourself. Are you still going out with your old friends? Are you still doing things that, you know, is not going to attract a husband? Are you still doing those? You got to seek the kingdom first. What they say in your season of solitude and or season of singleness, you got to seek the kingdom first, and then that husband will be added, then those friends will be added and things of that nature. So a lot of times, man, we come in and you know, that's another thing that fraternity taught me, that there's a lot of people that want to belong to something. And you can see that in the truth, man. That highlighted that for me. I could see if a brother is just trying to be a part of something or if he's really in this for himself. And you know, ultimately on that day, right, you know, that it's gonna tell us who's the rebels and who's not, and who's really has the faith and who doesn't. But, you know, certain signs can show you like, oh, I'm just doing this because I never had a group before in my life. I never was, I never had brothers or sisters or a tribe to be around, right? I never was a part of any clubs. I was never popular, X, Y, and Z. And so don't do it for those reasons. Do it for yourself, because if you do it for those reasons, you're going to get let down. You're going to find yourself back in the world, right? And you don't want to do that.
I feel that. Okay. So you into hunting, right?
Yeah, man, we try to get into hunting. Man.
What got you into hunting?
Just the truth, man. And going back and seeing how our forefathers didn't have grocery stores and things of that nature, right? But also, you know, just being in the South. I've been in the South my whole life, man. And you know, when part of me, I had to give up basketball when I came into the truth. Everybody got something they got to give up. We had an opportunity to go overseas and play in England. And then, you know, we was in the truth, and, you know, basketball wasn't hitting like it used to be. You know, when you come in this truth, a lot of your hobbies and things, they don't hit like they used to. But we had the opportunity, and then COVID hit, and it was kind of like a no-brainer. Like, I'm not going. It's not that serious, right?
Yeah.
But I say that to say, because I don't take some of the things I took serious in the world, like basketball and things of that nature, that I made a god and, idolized and, spend all my time doing. I found myself in other niches and other hobbies that were more beneficial to me and my family, right? You learn how to hunt, you learn how to fish, you could provide for your family when something happens, or if you guys fall on hard times. But also it's just fun, man. Buying the gear, the camo gear and things of that nature, being dirty, being outdoors and things of that nature. All that stuff is kind of fun to me, you know what I'm saying? And kind of took a liking to it, wearing the boots and everything, being real country. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just kind of grew on me over time. Right. But yeah, man, we get into hunting. I wouldn't say that we're experts, right? But the passion's there, and we try to look the part. You know what I'm saying? And you look the part, then everything else will follow.
My God. And that's very interesting though, being that, what I'm saying, you don't really have a lot of our people in our culture to be hunting, what I'm saying, to hunt like that. But you do have this community of brothers that's actually hunting. You know what I'm saying? You was with some the brothers y'all was hunting, duck hunting.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Yeah, man. We met up with some Israelite brothers in Texas, and we went out there to shoot some ducks, man. And to your first point, we the people that taught other people how to hunt, really, right? We taught people how to shepherd. We taught people, how to fish. A lot of blacks and Hispanics and stuff, we don't really know how to swim now.
Yeah.
But you think about it, man. In times of slavery, man, we was getting in that water, man. Yeah. We was swimming. Right. But nonetheless, meeting those brothers was amazing, man. Just being able to travel, because in the world, when you in college and stuff, man, in sports and stuff, you're gonna travel for like worldly things. But being able to travel and meet brothers in the truth that have the same mind as you, that's a blessing. And then also being able to hunt, and it was their first time duck hunting for real too.
Dang.
Right. So, and we were able to actually, shoot some things in the sky and they fell down, what I'm saying? So, all praises for that. But it was an experience, man, that, kind of got us even more addicted. Right. So we can't wait for next season as well. So it was a good experience, man.
Kind. So what is something that you can take from hunting and you can apply it in this truth?
You could just take being diligent, man. You gotta be diligent in everything, not only in studying but applying yourself. Not also spending time, right? Nothing comes overnight. Also, you taking losses, right? You might go out sometimes, and like when we go out to camp, it's like fishing or hunting, right? You take all the time. You studied all week, right? You was gonna get your time to teach, and then when you go out there, it's empty.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And if you've been evangelizing or out there on the street corners at camp, you understand what it's like to preach at nobody.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of hard, but hunting teaches you just to love the game, just cause, right? Enjoy being out there just cause, right? And so that's something I can say transfers over from hunting, is that not every time are you gonna have a killer day. Not every time are you gonna get the blessing that you wanted, but you got to be in it for the right reason, right? You gotta be in it because you enjoy being in it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one thing hunting is gonna let you know. You're gonna see some hunters, man, if they don't catch nothing, they break their silence. And now they become a distraction, and they're definitely not going to get nothing, right? Or people that don't have no patience, right?
Yeah.
People that don't have no long suffering.
Yeah.
All these fruits of the spirit, man, you can transfer them over into hunting, man. And then also being a man, right?
Yeah.
Being a man, you can't go out there and then actually kill something and then you don't want to clean it.
Yeah.
You don't want to gut it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get too squirmish at that point. Right? How you gonna be in the Lord's army and you get into skirmish because of a deer, brother?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it teaches you a lot, man, and I'm eager to get more inside of it, right? Because like I said, we're not experts, man, but we, hopefully one day when we older and we got grandkids and our kids are other age and stuff, we can teach them and they can get into it too.
Con. So, you was talking a little bit earlier about, saying you met your wife and things like that. So you met your wife while you was in the truth?
Right.
Or,
I ain't gonna lie to you. When I came in the truth, man, I remember telling people, you know, I don't mind being a eunuch, right? If you don't know what a eunuch is, a eunuch, man, they in this thing like Paul, man, they ain't got no spouse.
wow.
And that's how invested I was when I first was coming into this truth, man. Before I knew anything about camps or congregations or anything, I told myself, I'm happy just to be a servant. At that time, a lot was going on. COVID was going crazy. Jobs were shutting down. People was on social media hard. Right. And I think at that time, my story posts, you know what I'm saying? And this is before I even knew about like camps and congregation. They was getting like thousands of views and stuff like that. But my little old story post was getting like 1,000, 2,000 views and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, I'm doing the work of the Lord. And so I'm reading every day, man. I might have been reading them like 6-8 chapters a day. I was fasting I was super skinny, man. I was growing my hair out, man. And, that was just a time to where I was locked in, you know what I'm saying? And dang, I ain't gonna lie to you. What was the question again?
I was asking when you met your wife.
Oh, yeah. So, I was in the truth when I met my wife. She actually had been following me. I don't know if I followed her first or if she followed me, but I do know that we were following each other. And she actually saw me court a few girls.
Wow.
So the thing with that is when I came in the truth, remember I said I thought I was going to be a eunuch.
Yeah.
Right. But then, kind of the Lord put it on my spirit to, man, it's not good for man to be alone. I understand what you're saying now. Everything was good except for that part when he was creating everything. But I started, kind of putting myself out there to get a rib. And
not to cut you off real fast. You mentioned something about courting. You know what I'm saying? And you might have somebody that might watch this. You know what I'm saying? They might have some questions about courting. So what's a tip that you would give somebody when courting somebody? Because something to look for. Something.
Right. First and foremost, I always tell people, I don't believe courting is in the Bible, right? You get married tomorrow, right? We see even with Isaac, they got married on the spot as soon as she touched down, right? But I think we do need to take courtship into hand in the society that we're in today. And you need to take heed not only to what she posts and stuff on social media, but you need to get to know her in the background as well. Or him in the background as well. Because being in this truth for a little minute now, I've seen a lot of people swindled, man. I've seen a lot of things happen that weren't supposed to happen or that could have been prevented. So you need to take your time, and everybody's courtship is going to look different.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody knows their limits. You got to be honest with yourself. And it's okay if they're not overseas, but I guess if they overseas, okay. But it's okay if they're in a different state, man. It's okay if you got to take longer trips. But just pray and fast. What I used to do was I used to fast whenever I met a new girl. I might not do it at the beginning of the relationship, but once we get to talking, have a few dates and stuff like that, it's getting serious. I would always do an Esther fast, right? The 3-day fast. And I would always get my answer on that third day. Either she might act up like her attitude or whatever, or she might show some signs of witchcraft, or she might show that she's not really in the truth. Or I've had it to where she was pregnant, right? She didn't tell me she laid with somebody, but now she calling me crying like, hey, we can't do this because I'm pregnant or X, Y, and Z. So the Lord is miraculous. And if you being diligent and if you being genuine and you having that fervent prayer with him, the prayers of a righteous man is going to avail much. He going to show you what you need to see, right? So courtship, it's gonna get you where you need to be. And now, all praises, me and my rib, we don't fight. We don't have disagreements like that. Well, everybody's gonna have disagreements, but that's just learning with each other. But we're like 100% good, right? And it's going on 3 years now. So
all praise Most High.
All praise to the Most High, and that just comes in seeking the Most High first, and then then that stuff will be added. But comment. So You know, I courted a few girls. I'm not gonna put a number out there.
Yeah.
She saw I think a couple of the girls I courted through social media because I was outside, you know. I was outside with it. But you know, I also saw some of the like her ex and some of the stuff that she was doing on her page. So I would be able to know if she was in a relationship or not. But anyway, shortly after she asked me, like I said earlier, about how she wanted a community and sisters and friends and X, Y, and Z. I gave her that advice, and I wasn't trying to shoot my shot, man. You know what I'm saying?
So you just kind of like came on like this friend.
Yeah, like she was my sister. Like I was treating her like a sister, right? And I'm a brother, like a friend. And so I was just giving her friendly advice. And then I added her into some group chats and group meets that I was in, where I knew other sisters and stuff was in and stuff like that. And then one day I was looking at her story, and I was like, man, she looked good. And I was like, I think I sent a few pictures to my brother and stuff. And you know, she tall. She not as tall as me. She might be like she might be an inch shorter than me. Some people say she's taller, but you know, that's one thing I told myself in the world, I wouldn't date nobody as tall as me or taller than me.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing about it, you know, the Most High, he gonna do what he want to do. You feel me? So anyway, I had questions about that. My brother was like, nah, go ahead and go for it, man. And I was like, yeah, you know, Kevin Hart and, you know, his they look good. And, you know, it just make a man look more powerful, even if that girl taller anyway. So anyway, man, you know, flesh was trying to get in the way. I ended up asking her if she had a man, and she was like, no. And then she gave me her phone number. I was like, well, dang, I was going to be a man enough and ask you for your phone number. But she was so eager at the time, I guess, to have a righteous relationship because of some of the stuff she's been through in the past, to where, you know, she gave me her number, and it was history from that point on, my man. I think we courted maybe like 3 months, man. It was quick. But hey,
look where y'all at now, though.
Yeah, it's God's timing, man. 2 kids, you know.
That's beautiful, man.
You might try for a girl in the future.
Okay. But how many kids you trying to have?
3 is max for me. I know a lot of brothers want to have a village, man, but 3 is max for me, man. I do still want a girl, but we'll try one more time, man. We'll try.
I got you. So, what kind of music you be listening to, man? You know what I'm saying? Well, not music. We know we listen to true music, but I'm saying, who you listening to, man? Who you listening to?
Man, I'm listening to the Deacon Sakari. I'm listening to The Rock, Eshan. I'm listening to Hezekiah. I'm listening to No Name Servant. I'm listening to everybody, really. Yeah. If you send me, if you on social media, if I'm on your social media and you send me something, I'm gonna listen to it. And not only that, man, I don't got no CDL like you, my boy, but when I was driving, I just used to let SoundCloud play. Yeah. And so I hear a lot of people, man, even some names that don't come to mind right now, but I hear a lot of people, and a lot of truth music is good. Like, there's a lot of good artists out there, but don't be fooled. There's a lot of bad artists too, and I'm on y'all, right? Right. When they was looking for somebody to play the harp for King Saul. Now, if one of them soldiers would have lied to King Saul and David was trash, that soldier probably would have got punished. So I'm telling the truth now that, you know, not everybody should be in that office, but there's a lot of, you know, truth music out there that's bumping.
Okay, so boom, right? Let's just say you got to go with top 3, man. You know what I'm saying? You like, hey, man, these ones, and they 5. Who on your list? Who top 5?
Right now, I done been through some changes, but right now, and you know, the truth music kind of mellowed out right now. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm gonna have to say The Rock. I feel like he the most talented. The Rock Ibar. Eshan Burgundy, man. Eshan Burgundy. Kind of watched that brother's transition into the truth. Eshan Burgundy, he's talented as well. Yeah.
He got some buzz.
Oh yeah. Even his old albums when he was just like a Christian rapper, he got some hits. So those 2, and then who am I gonna go to? Who am I gonna go with? Shout out I think his name is Omri or Omari. He pretty good. He talented too, but I ain't gonna say him. I guess I'll go with Deacon, man. I'll go with Deacon, man. Okay. Well, actually, I'll take it back. Okay.
Okay.
Right now, my 3rd is gonna be Road to Chef. Now I told these guys back here I ain't like Road to Chef like that.
Crazy.
I told them I didn't like Road to Chef like that.
Crazy.
But when he came out with his album with Humble called Humble Chef, I ain't gonna lie, he good, man.
That's crazy.
He got some good lyrics too, and he give you that big Papa spirit, man.
Hey, okay,
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hey, brother ridiculed me for listening to Roy and Chef.
No.
Yes, I told these brothers about him, and I was like, hey, bro, this brother kind of lyrically like that. And it was like,
man, he wasn't showing it to me though.
Hey.
He was doing a lot of like self-glorification, it felt like. To me at the time, it was you know, I split the Red Sea like Moses type stuff. But in that Humble Chef, he explained why he probably one of the top rappers in Israel, man. So I'm gonna say Road to Chef.
Okay. That's interesting you say that, man. I'll just listen to this song he got with it was the brother from AOC Ashar. General Ashar, he got a song.
I didn't even know Ashar made music.
I know was that him? Yeah, General Ashar make music though. You know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. He be spitting a little song.
Everybody got music.
Yeah, hey man, you don't know I might have something.
Jump out the porch, man. Gonna be outside with it.
Hey man, so
now if it's trash, I'm gonna let you know.
Oh, hey, please let me know.
Shout out to my boy Wayne. I'm gonna let you know right now on this podcast, my brother. Stop it.
Hey.
All right, I love you though, bro. Love you,
So I got what you like to eat, man? What you say the top dishes you know what I'm saying you got in the tribes, man?
I'm gonna have to go with what they say is Issachar, man. Issachar, man. That bedia tacos, them street tacos, man. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. So it's bedia. It's bedia.
You know what that was called?
Yeah, it's bedia.
That's how they pronounce it.
Really? I ain't know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
bedia. You know, with his double R, you gotta roll the R.
Yeah. Drake. I mean, Jake gonna say Berea. So y'all might know about Berea.
Yeah.
But bedia, man, them bedia tacos, man. You dip it in that sauce.
Yeah.
But Mexican food by far, man. That's gonna be up there. After them, it's gonna be Benji. It's gonna be Benji. They go crazy.
What dish though?
Benji. It's gonna have to be like some type of chicken.
Brown stew?
Probably.
Brown stew go crazy.
And then who's in the big three? Benji, Issachar.
You ever had Levi?
Not really.
It's fine.
Not really.
What's the dish from Levi?
It's like this little rice that they had. I just had some just recently.
It looked like diarrhea on a plate.
No.
Did they got?
No, it got like it's like some rice and it had like green peas in it, and it was like
Is it jollof rice?
Nah, that's I want to say that's like Trinidad Tobago type.
I don't know, man, but it was busting though. But I don't know.
I don't know, man. I really gotta expand out
Beef patty, bro.
more in the nation, man. Cause I ain't gonna lie, all I be eating is Mexican food.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
gotta expand out, man. Cause I do want to try some of the other foods out there.
Yeah, thanks.
But every time it's time to like try a different restaurant or something, I just get lazy, man. Just go to a Mexican joint.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, we got some out here too. But okay. So you got a hunting dog, right?
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah, man. I might breed her, man, so she might, be the mother of all.
Okay. So I got a question.
But that don't mean what does Sarah mean? Sarah means princess, right? Sarah means
I don't know. Don't give me the line.
I forgot. I forgot. I looked it up, man. I know Abraham was like the father of many
Many
nations.
nations, yeah.
Sarah, it was either I think Sarai is my princess, and I think Sarah is princess. But yeah. So don't.
Princess.
Yeah. So Sarah's princess. That's my princess, man. She could be a little bitch sometimes, female dog. But
So you
teach me patience.
You train her, right?
Yeah.
So how is it like training an actual hunt? Like you train her the actual hunt though?
Yeah, man. So she's doing well, man. It was kind of hard when I had a strenuous job before I kind of had more free time now. I try to get it in, like maybe just throwing her, getting her, acclimated to retrieving. Right. But now that I got more time, I can take her to a pond. I can, go on walks and stuff with her through forests and stuff like that. E-collar training. And I got to give it to this brother too. He really the one that kind of, encouraged me to be able to have the mindset to even do it. Right. Because, if it was up to me, if I had the money, which I don't, if I had the money, I'd just pay somebody. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, day by day, man. Dogs are a lot like kids. I just told my wife that the other day. She didn't like that. But, they going to eat stuff off the floor. They going to use the bathroom when they want to. They going to have attitudes when they want to, and they love to eat. Yeah. Right. But, one thing about, training a hunting dog, it teaches you how to be a better dad too. Just having patience and knowing that entity is trainable, right?
Yeah.
And what you don't see now, you can see it later on. You just gotta kind of be patient enough to see the vision come to fruition. Because there's been days where I didn't think that she was gonna be a good hunting dog. There's been days where I was like, she's just not getting it, right? But then out of nowhere, she get it. It clicked. You just gotta,
what kind of dog is it?
She's a Labrador Retriever, man. A silver lab, right? They usually come in like chocolate or brown, and then black is very popular. A black lab. Then you got your yellow labs, but now you have a lot of designer breeds, they say, or designer lines, and you got your champagnes, your charcoals, your silver, your reds, and labs like that. So yeah, man, Silver Lab Sarah, man, she doing her thing.
Okay. That's what's up. So you be fishing sometimes too?
Yeah, I ain't fished in a minute, man. I think the last time we fished, we all fished was like 2022. Dang, that was a minute, man. Life kind of got a hold of us. But we went out there and fished, man. We do enjoy it. I think we're planning on going on a fishing trip soon. In the Savannah area.
What you do, like you do on saltwater or on freshwater?
That will be saltwater fishing. But we usually find like little ponds and banks and stuff. We don't got no boat yet, but just fishing off of ponds and stuff.
So what you like when you like y'all get like on the when you say saltwater fish, like you go on the bridge or something like?
Yeah, you can do it off a bridge, but it's a brother up in Savannah that's in the truth. He a little older. The older crowd. I think he's probably like 40, 41 or something like that. But he was planning something for a fish charter. So getting on a boat out there and having like a fish guide, and you out there actually like
fishing. Got postponed, man. He reached out and he said that's actually the week of Father's Day, and he wanted his father to come and our father to come. And so
he didn't want it to make a scene.
He didn't want to cause no confusion because he's in the middle of bringing his dad into the truth. And so he didn't want to start off on that foot and think that we were caving into his father for Father's Day, even though we don't celebrate it. So you know what I'm saying? So he canceled the trip and said we'll pick another time. So
okay.
But yeah, man. So we do a little fishing, man.
Okay.
My favorite fish to catch right now is the largemouth bass. I know there's all different type of fish out there, but it's something about when a LMB hit your line and you hook set and you feel that pressure. Yeah, it's addicting, man. And then bringing it back home, filleting it, cooking it up, frying it, or putting in some grits or something, man. It's a good feeling knowing you caught your own food.
What's the biggest one you done caught?
I ain't weigh it, but it ain't that big.
Ain't that big?
Nah, it probably was like 3 pounds, man.
Yeah. My dad, he love bass fishing. He love to fish. Like he be into that. You know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to get into a little bit here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. The only way to do it is to do it. Let me ask you a question though.
What's up?
Do you remember how we met?
Yeah, I remember how we met. You know what I'm saying? So a little backdrop. You know what I'm saying? Me and him, we met on Instagram. We actually had like we was talking about differences about Solomon being Yahweh Shai.
But I mean, before that too, man, this brother was going crazy, man, getting kicked out of malls and stuff.
Oh man,
brother, he was on Instagram heavy, man. And I remember I followed him. I was like, dang, this brother mighty, man. This brother is he out here, getting it, So that's how I found his page, really. Well, really, I think I was following you before that, but then when you started posting more, I was like, oh yeah, this man mighty. But yeah.
Oh yeah. That's it, cause that's how you found me. We had me and Obadiah, man. No, I think it was either Obadiah with me. Was that Malachi? Yeah, Malachi, man. We got kicked out the mall, man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't want us in there passing out flyers. We just passing out flyers, letting our people know who they are, cause we passing out flyers, bro. But it's so crazy. You got rappers that go in the mall all the time, passing out CDs, passing out their little party invitation, whatever. But when you go doing the works of the Lord,
it's crazy though, cause like this is my first time kind of hearing that story. Cause I thought y'all got kicked out because y'all was bringing it out. No, I was just passing out flyers.
Yeah, we just passing out flyers.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's all we was doing. We went out there. We ain't had no setup in the mall. We literally just, hey man, check this out, man. It's like going to the Bible, blase. Just doing that. You know what I'm saying? They kids out.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, man.
That's Satan, man. But yeah, come on, man. I remember we was talking about Solomon and Adam and all that.
Yeah.
And we was talking about regeneration.
Yeah.
And then I remember I don't remember if it was you or me that was like, we need to do like a unity camp or something, because y'all was prisoners of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, that was you. Yeah, said something about it.
And then they came, man. They came. That was our first unity camp. But then we had just started being outside for real. And we had just got shirts made. They had already had like some shirts.
Yeah.
And they pulled up, man. That was our first time having that experience with brothers that was actually willing to pull up like that.
Yeah.
And when they came in, it was all love, man. It's been history ever since, man. I think it was like it was the first home game at a college that we went to. And we was out there giving the word, man. We had a good time.
That was beautiful, man. It's like I was always just admired that, like, and that's beautiful about this truth. You can meet some people from different walks of life, and you can actually have friendships that actually last.
Oh, them brothers was in Florida, man. Them brothers was in Florida. We in Georgia, bro. Yeah, so that's crazy, state to state, man.
State to state, going crazy, man. So speaking of, saying people in this truth and brothers in this truth, it's some mighty teachers out here, man. You got a lot of teachers that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of camps sprouting up and things like that. What would you say that, or how do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? As you see this, because at one point in time, it was like, so it was just a few, we had One West, you know what I'm saying? You had that at one point. Then you start having the different branches of One West, you know what I'm saying? Your IUIC, your IHBK, and so forth and so forth. So how do you feel about how this truth is kind of like spreading now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. The truth is spread. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been in the book of Numbers this month and just reading about all the camps and their standards and everything, the ensigns that they held up, and every camp was kind of doing their own thing. And that kind of reminds me of the time we're living in now. The only difference is back then your camp was kind of headed by your father, right? And the elders in your family. But now we do have a lot of camps, and sad to say, it does add confusion to people that are new in the truth, right? It's still beautiful to see that many people want to do the work, but it does kind of add confusion sometimes to people that are new in the truth, because a lot of people that are new in the truth don't understand that just because you're an Israelite don't mean that you're going to be on the same page with every Israelite. And that's why I brought up what's in Numbers, right? What's in Numbers, they had their own standards, they had their own flags or ensign, they had their own, you know, how they carried themselves, but they were still Israelites. If somebody came to war, they all still fighting for each other. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's, you know, it's beautiful, right? To answer your first question about who I think may be some of the top teachers, when I first came into the truth, it's gonna look different than where I am now, right? When I first came into truth, I still gotta, you know, pay homage to some of those teachers and elders that was out, that kind of helped coast me in, right? I say 3 of them was Pastor Dow. He's still doing his thing now. I really like Pastor Dow because and then, you know, a lot of people feel they have their feelings towards him, right? But one thing about some of these men I'm about to name is you can't say that the Most High doesn't have a hand on what they're doing because of how they've grown, right? When you see a man like Pastor Dow says, he was in a trailer with just him and his family. They was using the bathroom in buckets. To now they have multiple properties, bunch of acres in many states and multiple communities, right? You gotta understand, God put his hand on that man with a vision and it came to pass, right? So he taught me a lot about the Bible as well, just, you know, coming out of Christianity, some of the lies that was in the doctrine of Christianity and stuff like that. Also, it was a guy called Omar Thibault. A lot of people don't know him. He got a page on YouTube called The School of Hebrews. And part of me coming into truth, I was big on the earth. Is it flat or round? Did we go to did we go to the moon or not? I was big on conspiracies. And his School of Hebrews, he used to break all that stuff down, man, and bring out scriptures. And so he was one. I know a lot of people know Geno Jennings now, but Geno Jennings, I'll just shout him out. Everybody knows what he do. You can take him with a grain of salt, but coming into this truth, another one will be Stephen Darby. Stephen Darby was that pastor that died. He was bald. He was up on there. You might see like his old clips sometimes, like on Instagram or Facebook. Somebody might post them, and he'll talk about the children of Israel and stuff like that.
So your beginning wasn't really from One West.
Nah, it wasn't at all. It wasn't at all. I didn't know about camps till later. So, and you'll interview my brother, but kind of got my brother into the truth. And when he came into the truth, he went kind of a different direction than I did. Like I didn't even go there. I didn't even know about camps. He the one that taught me about camps, and I was in the truth almost a year before him, right? And so, so it looked a lot different me coming to. So the another person that I saw coming into the truth was Elder Rakashiar at Gathering of Christ Church. That was the first kind of camp or congregation I had kind of looked at, because I didn't really even know about him. So he was the first one. So I'm looking at him and how they carry themselves and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And at the time, they was bringing out a lot of hard-hitting facts on their broadcast or their podcast or whatever, regarding like COVID and all that stuff. But now, if you ask me today, knowing teachers and having a good palate, right, to be able to taste all these teachers, I would say 3 of them. I would say one is Bishop Nathaniel. I didn't really like Bishop at first. He's a lot to take in sometimes, but I ain't gonna lie, Bishop, he's a mighty teacher, right? I like the way he presents things as well. And, the Lord's hand is on him with his following. Another one would be Hassad. Hassad, man, he be doing his thing, man. Whenever he have like a lesson, it could be a sit down lesson, or it could be a lesson on the street corner at camp. He's not afraid to talk to anybody, any kind of race or anything, and he's quick with it, right? And he gets to the point, man. And he knows how to direct a room, right? Or control a room. And I always say Hassad is a miniature or a light-skinned Naquan, right? So my other one today would have to be Naquan, man, because that brother, he's sharp, man. He's sharp. It's not too many subjects that he can't go into where he has 15 scriptures to give you, right? And if you listen to his sit-down lessons, his lives, man, you come out a historian. You'll come out a scholar, man. He'll have a lesson titled one thing, and then he'll go in for 2 hours on something that's not even on that topic, just as a sidebar. And you learning all that information, man. Man, a culmination of all those people has kind of made me who I am today, man. Not to mention everybody in this room, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in this room puts their brick into, even with you, even with the brothers behind me. And you know, I get goosebumps whenever when we out and we're all together, and you know, there's people receiving the word and we in our element. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. If that answers the question, it was a lot of people, but that's kind of, you know, kind of how I got to where I am.
No, I think that's very interesting because, you know, it kind of shines light on different people have different upbringings in the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like some people start in different areas. You know what I'm saying? Like I first started out with Naquan with the Adam Abbott channel. You know what I'm saying? That's why I started off in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to hear that you got somebody basically come from like you said Dr. McDowell and Pastor Dowell, Omar Tibbo,
Pastor Stephen Darby.
Yeah, that's interesting because, you know, so you might have somebody, they might watch this live, right? They may came from that background, you know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting to see that how in this truth people have different ways to come into this thing. Like, you know, you had some people, they came in from watching the video with the dude. He was like, how our identity is the biggest hidden secret.
With the glasses.
Yeah.
The bald dude with the glasses.
Yeah. So a lot of people came from that. So it's like,
my wife came in through his documentary.
See that? So it's interesting just to see different backgrounds coming to the truth. It's kind of like different backgrounds of growing up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up.
Man. And my advice is don't be tossed to and fro, but man, get a colorful palate, man. Have a lot of taste. You know, when you have people that do wine tastings, man, they have a colorful palate to where they can pick up on little tiny differences in wine. The same thing in this truth, man. Because if you don't do it, you'll end up stereotyping or prejudging somebody on something that you don't know, right? Yeah. Look into what they're preaching or whatever before you know, cast judgment down on them. But a lot of times, you know, it takes somebody skillful to be able to chew the meat and spit the bones. Yeah. But that would be my advice is chew the meat, spit the bones, man. You can get something from Peter, you can get something from Paul, you can get something from Matthew, you can get something from, you know, all of these disciples, right? Barnabas, Silas, you can get something from all of them, right? And just because you don't agree with everything they teaching, right? Which, you know, a lot of people, you know, they feel like, how can you walk together lest to be agreed? But, you know, as long as they teaching who the Most High is and his son, and they teaching to keep the commandments and have faith, right? Everything in between that, right? You may disagree and you might have a different standard, but just understand why they believe that way first. And that way you don't have any hate in your heart towards them. Because what happens is we see these differences and a lot of people start hating because of the differences. The differences ain't got nothing to do with hate. You know what I'm saying? Just because a brother or a sister don't think like you. Yeah, right. You're not God. You can't make somebody think like you, right? And so with that, I'll say, you know, chew the meat, spit the bones, man. And don't be afraid or scared to see what's out there for your edification, right? Not so that you be swayed or not to influence other people, but just so that you're sharp. Because right now, from my upbringing, like you said, it might be different from somebody else, but that didn't deter me from going and seeing One West and experience One West and being out there with One West. Yeah. Right. And now the way I think and the wisdom that I have from all these different places, right, is unmatched to me, right? Yeah. I feel like I can be a chameleon. I feel like I can talk and have a conversation that's going to be fruitful with anybody, right? So, Con, I'll say that.
I like that though. You know what I'm saying? Definitely chew the meat and spit the bone. Being that we're coming from a point to where we have been broken off from our heritage. So we're just learning how to really be Israelites. We're just learning about our culture. And so you're going to have people, and we know that nobody has 100% truth. You know what I'm saying? We just, like you said, what's edifying for you, what's edifying for your spirit. Because all those things, those combination of things those people, they like I said, chew the meat, spit out the bone. You know what I'm saying? When you have a combination of Hassad, you know what I'm saying, of even Mr. Medal, you know what I'm saying, and Naquam, and what's the other one you had mentioned?
Omar Thibodeau,
Not the other
Gino.
all these people that have different. Like, no, it's somebody had named. He was like the new right now.
Oh,
It was a Hassad and it was
Bishop
a
Nathaniel.
That's what it is. So when you chew the meat from the bones, right, and you get that combination, right? Because this Bishop Nathaniel, he has some knowledge, he has some wisdom, right? And then you kind of combine that with some wisdom that's from Hassad. Then you kind of combine that with some things that you learn from. Hey man, that's a well-studied man.
Right, man. It's a well-studied man. You gotta, like the scriptures say, man, you gotta wear out the doorstep of all these wise men. Right. A lot of the times when if I have a lesson, or if I might do a lesson, or if I might teach somebody something, or I might, let's say, it might be situations where I'm talking to somebody that only be in congregations, or they only like the way their congregation speak, and they'll say, I'll never listen to One West or X, Y, and Z. I might have a conversation with them, and I might put together something I learned from One West people. And they don't even know it, but they understand it now, and they respect it, and they receive it because it's coming from me. And so I kind of just see myself as a mediator. Now I don't want to say that, but I kind of see myself as, helping people over that hump, because there's some people that don't like the delivery of some people. There's some people that don't like the way people are organized or whatever have you. And I just want everybody to just understand everybody, man. If you understand the next person and know, hey, this person's not, he not trying to die in the lake of fire. So whatever he believe, he truly believe it. You know what I'm saying? So don't just write the brother or the sister off. Understand first and then review, right? And that's question.
So what is what do you say important thing to really being a teacher? What would you say is a key thing or attribute to have in teaching, being a teacher?
Long suffering and composure, man. Long suffering and composure. Really all the fruits of the spirit, to be honest. But long suffering and composure, man, because you gotta know how to deal with everybody. Right? Yeah. And you gotta be willing to hear the conversation. If you don't hear the conversation, right, and keep your composure, you might overspeak or overstep. Right. And that's just kind of comes with teaching for a little minute. You don't have to be on the biggest stage. You don't have to have the biggest following. But the thing about teaching is you're gonna always learn, man. You're gonna always even learn something from somebody that you're trying to teach. Right. And you gotta teach. As a teacher, you gotta be a student too. Right. And you gotta be able to receive everything that's going on in that moment and know that every conversation is different. A lot of times people get into teaching and they think they want every conversation to go one way. And if they don't go that way, they kind of shut off. Right. But as a teacher, you got to be able to be witty with your words. You got to be able to be sharp. You got to be able to be studied. And you got to be a people's person, man. A lot of people aren't people's persons. And if you're not a people person, that's cool. Just, take a step back from teaching. You know what I'm saying? But as a teacher, you got to be a people's person, man. The person you're talking to they got to like you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not enough just to talk at somebody. If you're talking about teaching somebody, they got to be able to receive what you're saying. I think James says, if you can't bridle your mouth, how can you pretty much, rule over a church, or how can you bridle a church? Right? If you can't control your actions and your attitude and your thought process, how can you end up controlling a conversation? You can't do it. So I say composure, man, is real big, and being a teacher, man, and of course, all the fruits of the spirit, man, they're gonna help too.
What would you say is the most beautiful thing about this about teaching? What's the most beautiful thing about teaching?
The most beautiful thing about teaching is there's just a fulfillment, man, when you finally get somebody that agrees and understands what you're saying. But even in the down times when you might have a bad day of teaching, just knowing that you have the opportunity to teach.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's beautiful in itself because, you know, there's so many sheep out here, you know, and even in the world, there's so many sheeple people that are followers. But to be a teacher means that, you know, you kind of stepping out there in a leadership position. Yeah. Right. Being a teacher, you're humble enough to know that somebody you're teaching might surpass you. Right. And a lot of teachers don't think like that. To be a great teacher, you got to be able to know that your student might be better than you. Right. If I'm a boxing instructor and if I spar with the person I'm training, I want him to be able to beat my butt one day. Yeah. Right. That's how I know I'm doing my job. The example I always use is, you know, if you planting the seed for a tree, eventually you want that tree to give you shade. Right. That tree gonna get bigger than you and it's gonna give you shade. Right. And that's gonna be like the brother Yeshaya behind me says, your commendation. Right. It's not that we getting paid for this, but we get fulfilled off of seeing somebody change their actions and actually be converted.
Definitely fulfill the kind. Okay. I did. So check this out. Right. I like that though. That's very beautiful that you say that though. That you know, just seeing people actually changing their lives. Like we play a pivotal and beautiful role in this truth. You know what I'm saying? We actually coming to people and telling them, you know what I'm saying, that hey, you know, we the Israelites, we gotta keep God's laws. And by you doing such things, by actually doing that, it changes you as a person. You know what I'm saying? It changes you as a person. And coming to truth, what was something that you kind of was difficult to change?
I go back to the holidays, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. The holidays used to be up arguing with my dad till 3 a.m. Right, arguing, trying to find scriptures to combat the fact that we can celebrate Christmas. And then after that, you know, it was of course, you know, the pork, man, because you know they put pig and everything. Yeah. And I wanted to say we can eat whatever we want to. But those two things right there, once I was able to let my pride go about that, I was able to let my pride go about anything that I learned in the truth. And once I, you know, read the scripture of becoming a babe in this truth and coming as little children to get to the kingdom, at that point, everything was kind of easy. But those two right there wasn't overnight. Yeah, I got you. Right? Those weren't overnight. But after, like, you know, my spirit was built up to let my pride go to the side on those two subjects, I was able to, you know, walk into everything else that was brand new, right? Because I was just piecing it together. And once I realized I don't know, I'm not right, it was easy to become.
I think that's it's good that you say that because everybody have different things that's hard for them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might see this and that might be one of their little struggling points. You know what I'm saying? And you said a good thing. You gotta let that pride go. You gotta humble yourself in this thing.
Out there on the corners, man, street teaching. You know, we also see stuff like people can't let go of pornography, or they can't let go of drugs, right? They can't let go of some of those things. But the thing about it is, the moment you let go of that big thing, everything else gonna be easy. You just gotta be humble and meek enough to let it go.
All right, so we're gonna shift gears. You know what I'm saying? So if you could meet anybody from the Bible, now we ain't gonna say your house side, because that before anybody want to meet him. 3 people and why?
I'm gonna have to go with the 3 J's, man. Joseph, Jacob, and Joshua.
Man, why Joseph?
Joseph, man, because that was a mighty brother, man, going to prison that many times, becoming a ruler in Egypt, blessing his brothers, man. And you know, a lot of Jake, man, they ain't gonna bless their brothers and their family like that. But just the way he handled that, the way he fled fornication, man. You know, and the visions that he was given from God. And I just would want to talk to him about all of that, man. I want to talk to him about all of his experiences, man. I feel like Joseph was a prominent character. And if there's anybody I wanted to be like, in the Bible, I think I would want to be like Joseph. I would want to be like Joseph.
Why Jacob?
Jacob, man, because Jacob lived a life, and his life was very significant, man. Having all them kids, first of all, was a lot. But not only that, but just finding his way to fulfill prophecy, even though some things may not look the part, right? Eventually they happen to him. So I'd want to talk to him about where his mind was at in some of those things.
Some of those situations.
Some of those situations that he found himself in, like even meeting his brother after running away and all that. I know he had to be scared. Even getting played by when he's trying to get Rachel, and he had it got Leia first. You know what I'm saying? And working for him and stuff like that, and also. Just a lot of stuff that Jacob went through, man. Even when he was younger, man, and pretending to be his brother and things of that nature. I would want to talk to him about that, and also be like, bruh, big bruh. Like, did you see all of us are your descendants? Like, that's crazy to me.
That is, that's insane in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, like you are a progenitor of the Israelites. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Why Joshua?
Joshua, man, because when we first used to hang out, man, we always used to be like, man, who was a better leader, Joshua or David, man? And Joshua, I feel like is just overlooked, man. But a lot of characteristics that Christ had, when you go through the names and stuff, Jesus goes back to Joshua and stuff like that, and they kind of have a lot of the same characteristics as far as leading into a promised land and being shepherds over us and stuff like that. And Joshua, man, he was faced with a lot of stuff that he just had to be a man about. And I would want to talk to him about some of the strategies and some of the thought processes that he went through, and also just what made him was not being afraid to be a spy. Right? I want to know where he had the courage to do that. You know what I'm saying? And him and Caleb went out there and how he just knew that, hey, look, the Most High gonna get us through, because everybody else forgot what happened in Egypt. Right? But he ain't forget. So I'd want to talk to him about that, man. Just his journey to conquering the land that God gave us.
I think all those are mighty brothers and points, man. You know what I'm saying? That's good, man. So we finna get ready, to close down, man. But what's something that you would leave us with, man? Something that you would leave us with, leave to the audience, to the people, man. Anything.
I would say, man, be content, right? In all things, be content, man. Life could be good, life could be bad. You're gonna have ups and downs. But especially in this truth, man, be content with where you're at, because next week you might not be there, right? And if you're content with any situation that you're in, the Most High can trust you in any situation, and that's what you want to happen. You want Him to be able to trust you in any situation, man. So I would just say, be content, man, wherever you are in life, your walk, right? How you think now, what you're believing in now. Just be content that you're in this truth, right? Because a lot of times we can overthink things, man. But I'll say that, be content.
Calm. Well, there you have it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is an interview with the brother, man. First of all, I want to give honor to Yahweh Shah, of course. But, man, I'm glad you came through, man. Glad you came through, man. I've been wanting to talk to y'all, man. Get y'all in on this podcast, man. So I'm just grateful for you coming through, man.
Oh, man, I'm happy to be here, man. I know I said I was gonna make it out here, man. So I have to be a man of my word, man. I ain't trying to be no liar. And then when I seen my brother Yeshaya back there hop on, I said, "Dang, the brother beat me to it, man." But come, man, I'm happy to be out here, man. Happy to do this interview, man. This is much needed in Israel, man. So I hope everybody like, comment, and subscribe to this brother's Voices of the Branches podcast, because we need raw podcasts like this for people in the truth, because one, it'll help on Sabbath days. If you ain't got nothing to do, you can keep watching truth stuff and keep watching stuff that's edifying, man. And stuff like conversations like this is gonna always be edifying, right? So, you know, I want to thank you for even having a platform like this, right? Because and it's for free, right? Ain't nobody gotta pay, you know, to watch this. You know what I'm saying? And then also, you've been giving light to a lot of smaller little men. You know what I'm saying? I'll say little men out here that's doing the work too, right? The least of us, right? And because we know we do honor those brothers and sisters that have huge followings. But you know, it's other people out here doing the work too, and it's cool that they can get their voices out there, the voices of the branches. Right?
Man. All praise Most High, man. Hey, man, he said it, man. So, man, definitely, man, like, share, and subscribe, man. And with that, man, shalom.
Shalom.